live, rocking and rolling. Look at that. Oh my goodness, I got this beautiful BlockFi advertisement. Let me roll this over to you. Check it out. Not that. Check that out. BlockFi. It's beautiful, but I think they're owned by Block One. So personally, I don't know if I would use them or not. Not financial advice. Why don't we get into some of this? Is this good stuff here, y'all? And talk about the new regulations, because I have been reading the new regulations regarding cryptocurrencies, as you can see. So, Mr. Stephen Mnuchin, for those who don't know, if you've been living under a rock and you're not really associated with wanting to be a member of the free world, businesses that do stay open, they do face a very difficult problem. And that problem is, okay, you stay open, okay, you may or may not have your power to your building shut off if you are a retail front, but we'll just turn off your payment processors. And that's really what makes business profitable, is they have a payment processor. Now, there's not all kinds of digital money are created the same. And it's important to know that. And there's this guy, I can just probably type this in. Now keep in mind, like India, China, they've already made Bitcoin illegal so many times over the last 2 or 3 years, because it is a way to circumnavigate the dollar system, which their governments need to earn in due to the fact that they have debts that they have taken out from the 2008 financial crisis, where they took out loans in dollars, and so therefore they also have to pay back dollars. And that doesn't work very well if their citizens are trading in Bitcoin. So it's definitely been tried, it's been tested. This game has kind of seen its way through, but now it's our turn. It's the U.S.'s turn. It's the U.S.'s turn to take a swing, so to speak, at this. Now, Stephen Mnuchin is the current head of the U.S. Treasury. He has been at Goldman Sachs for forever. I mean, let's go ahead and take a look. Let's look him up. Stephen Mnuchin. Wiki. It's probably the best, if it's even real. I've been hearing that Wikipedia has been taking down people's pages and censoring them. So Stephen Mnuchin, CEO and Chairman. Please do not scroll past this. Sunday 1st, we have our Independence 2020 fund will soon be over. I wouldn't trust anybody who's maybe they're okay. This guy's 58. God. Goldman Sachs, where his father was a general partner. So his dad was Goldman Sachs. He's Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs owns, for Christ's sake, Goldman Sachs owns all of Wall Street. Okay? Goldman Sachs owns all of Wall Street. Like, JP Morgan's been manipulating silver markets. They recently just got busted for it. Downwards compression on the precious metals, I heard a rumor, has now been lifted. So even though, you could have gotten in at $12 an ounce silver during March of 2020, you could be in that same market, and it's now $25, $26. So, that's already 100% gain. That's a double. The Dow Jones, you're lucky to get 2%. If you're buying U.S. Treasuries, you can't even get 1% of the money you lend. If you lend $1 million, you're risking $1 million, hoping to make 10,000. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It's like saying, I want to get paid back in banana peels. It's like, I just don't want banana peels. Point blank. I just don't want banana peels. I don't have interest in them. So anyways, basically I've been the 120-page global regulation report right here, and it goes over how Europe is handling crypto, how Asia is handling crypto, all the different key terms and terminologies that are being thrown around. And it definitely sounds like, I wouldn't say the U.S. that we're handling the best. We have the least amount of guidance. But the primary problem in all of these countries, and the thing that these Robinhood traders and anybody who thinks that they are a trader don't realize, is they don't realize the difference between a beneficiary, quote unquote, and a custodian, quote unquote. And custodian does not mean you're pushing mops and buckets. It means literally, figuratively, you have custody. It's in your hands. When you trade on Robinhood, the little stock, they don't go and put your name on it. This is something that's called funds. The funds, they're in-house. Okay? So you can become a member and you can trade around in their house. So in-house, you're benefiting from the price increase. Now, if they go bankrupt, if they get investigated, if anything that happens inside that company, corporation, doesn't matter, because you can structure an LLC corporation where it's a shell, it gets its own social security number. Anything that happens inside of it, it's not related to the person who started it. Doesn't affect their credit, doesn't affect their anything. It doesn't affect the assets they own. So you can structure companies to where you can literally, they can collapse inside and you can just walk away and be like, dang it, whatever. So because your stock doesn't have your name on it, you're a beneficiary, you don't actually have custody of the thing, which is the problem in the new modern era. Crypto does actually solve that, because the custody is trustlessly validated through encryption. You couldn't move the tokens, which don't ever leave the blockchain. You couldn't have the keys to move them and relock them to a new account without this style of reverse database. The way a database works is you do all these pathways to connect to this server. Server makes a copy, sends you a copy of a fluffy bunny. Your wife connects, makes a copy, sends your wife a copy of the fluffy bunny. Makes a copy, sends a copy, makes a copy, sends a copy, makes a copy, sends a copy. So we currently don't think of the internet as scarcity. The way that this new style of database, because it's a database, works, and there's components that make a database. So Google database and learn about it. is that this database is something you pay some gas, you take the picture of the fluffy bunny, and you mint it. Now I'm using metaphors. You mint it into the blockchain. So you think like stamping it into the blockchain. Now what this does is everybody can access and see that you minted the fluffy bunny. They can view it and they can see the fluffy bunny on the blockchain. They can view it, they can see it, but nobody can grab it, touch it, or take it because you're the only one with the keys. Because you minted it. You minted it into the blockchain. You had to pay some gas. You had to pay some Ethereum, some gas to mint it into the blockchain. But now you have the keys. You can then, you have custody. I mean, there's no claims on it. You're the only one with the keys. That's why like people can claim they own it, but if they can't move the tokens and prove it, it's like you don't actually have custody of it with your wallet. It can be viewed as a passport, which is already used as in Decentraland. There's a lot of applications being built. That's kind of what my point is there, but this is a different style of internet. It's like Alex Mashinsky said, and he created voice over IP phones. So your phone calls, they don't go off telephone lines anymore. I mean, they use the old infrastructure, but telephone companies aren't telephone companies anymore. They're ISPs. They're internet service providers. They're data transmitters, and they really don't use fiber. They really don't use copper. They use fiber. And I say these things because I work on these. I work on this infrastructure. So, phone lines. VoIP, voice over IP, was an app. So, voice over IP was an app on the telephone line. But then all of a sudden, phone calls became an app on the internet. The internet replaced the telephone companies, replaced the telephone lines, and then the voice thing just became one of the many things you can do on the internet. And so those two roles got reversed. And now it's money over IP, so money over internet. And it's because of the scarcity. Anyways, so check this out. I do kind of want to go to a hot pick, crypto hot pick coin for y'all suckers. Definitely, I pretty deep in these markets. Obviously, if you don't have Bitcoin, maybe get a small bag of it. Very small, because it's quite highly priced right now. Ethereum, please, for goodness sake, get yourself some Web 3.0, because this is Web 3.0. This stuff is only it still could double, and just to hit an all-time high. So this stuff is so undervalued. I mean, it's stupid. Here's 180 days. Let's look at the max. I mean, this stuff it's still climbing the wall. I mean, people don't even really understand what Bitcoin is. And these are the people who manage money. And when I say money, I mean hundreds of millions. I mean billions, which is hundreds of millions, and they are just now getting into it. That's what the frick is making the price go up. It's that these people are realizing that this Bitcoin thing, it's pristine collateral. Like a 2-year treasury, like a 1-year treasury, like a 10-year treasury. They realize that it's pristine frickin' collateral. And so you're seeing them bid the price up. Hundreds of millions at a time. Okay. So here's a 180-day look. There you go. Obviously, just what you'd expect. I mean, there's 21 million of those things in circulation. it's like 15 million of them won't move, and currently the algorithms only produce like 18 million of them. 6.25 Bitcoin are produced every 10 minutes, and that's it. You have to compete to get that, and you and I definitely, if you're watching my video, you definitely don't have a chance in mining Bitcoin. You need things called an ASIC miner. It's an algorithm-specific integrated circuit. So Google it if you want to. You definitely have a chance with Ethereum on this bull market, because this whole entire bull market is going to be about Ethereum, which is the gas. It is the network. It is the internet. So you can see down here, I mean, I got wrecked all through this. I mean, I got my souls crushed. But I've programmed these things a little bit. I understand this stuff, and so I'm not a weak hand in the market. But for goodness sake, I don't have much money. Like, I can't afford to see the tiny bit of 1,000 savings that I have. Like, I freaking basically, yeah. I wish I was somebody. Anyways, let me give you a hot pick. And this is just the things. I'm not going to tell you my sources. Obviously, if you don't have Unibright, you need to get some Unibright, not financial advice. 155 spot. It has a trading volume of 1.8 million a day, 63 million in market cap. This thing is still ready to blow up. But look, okay, so it's an ERC20 token, which means it's Ethereum. It can trade on the Ethereum network. So it doesn't matter. Like, all this new US regulation, call it good, call it bad, call it dirty, call it not. This thing can trade on a decentralized exchange. It's called a DEX. Not Unibright. Uniswap.io. Uniswap.io. And then you go to the app. So anyways, Unibright, you can pick it up. It can trade there. Doesn't matter if regulation happens. Like, regulation can't kill this stuff. This stuff is outside of... There's no centralized control. Centralized control is trying to kill something that has no center. You know, how many licks till you get to the center of this? I don't know if you will. Cell token. I freaking love the cell token. These guys. This is Alex Mashinsky. These guys are doing great stuff. They got $1 billion in market cap. This fool has 100 million sitting in cash. He's loaded up like Apple. You know, he's done great things for the world through the internet, through the 90s. Voice over IP, and now this Alex Mashinsky guy, he's doing Cell Network, Celsius Network, and it's money over IP. And it's because he realized, like, the money thing is a big problem that humanity, we all have. It's really not fucking cool. So I'm a massive fan of these guys. Let me flip this transition back over. I'm a massive, massive, massive bull on Celsius Network. If I didn't hodl DAI, D-A-I, and I couldn't have DAI, which I'm kind of thinking about getting out of, because no, I don't trust Tether. I don't trust USDT. These guys are going to get wrecked one day, and I don't want to hold their stablecoin. Yes, I do hold some DAI, because it is a software that produces that stablecoin, which is pegged to the US dollar. So it is software that creates it, software that makes it. It's like Maker, okay? It creates quite a few different things. But what Maker introduced is something called a collateralized debt obligation, CDO. And one of the things that it uses is you lock in your Ethereum, you get the stablecoin DAI, and it's pegged to the dollar through autonomous ways. If you want to know the technicals, it's best to go to their page and read it up. Okay, do this research for yourself. Do not take my freaking advice on this type of stuff, you guys. Like, no joke. Like, don't take my fucking advice on this. Like, do your own fucking homework. Put on your own big boy pants, your own big girl pants, and do your own homework. Now moving forward, Aave, fundamentally, this is a good one. I definitely, I don't recommend anything, but if I did, Aave would definitely be one on the list. You don't go all in on anything. Get yourself whatever amount that you're going to put to invest. 50% either goes into this one, not financial advice, or 50% goes into this one, or you go 25%, 25%. You could go 25% into XRP, but just know that this shit is a straight scam token. This is something that's called a oscillator. It's degenerating. This thing has no use case. I promise you, like, when this thing spikes, just know that it will go right back down to the main thing. At least these other things have gone up and stayed up. They do go down, but I promise you Ethereum will not go down to $12, where I remember selling a lot of Ethereums. This thing will go back down to cents because it doesn't actually have, it's not used anywhere. These guys are, whatever you want to call them, I don't know what you call them. Polkadot, they're doing good things. Oh, Comp is definitely one I like. Doge, it's like a dog. It's like funny marketing, like Dogecoin. I don't know why, but they're gonna fucking be around. It's just part of it. Ampl fourth, I've always heard great things about, but you can see, like, there's different sizes. Okay, so you gotta kind of think in the realm of not really stocks, because it's a poor example, but think $1 to $100 million is micro cap. Small cap, 100 million to $1 billion. Okay. Then medium cap, think 1 billion to 10 billion. Now this company right here, Ampl fourth, let me cut back over. Ampl fourth right here, AMPL, is the ticker. It's 262 million. It's still a medium cap, and these guys do have good uses. They do. They're quite successful. Now, not all of these will make it. Not all these guys will actually have a use. They definitely won't. So I've heard good things about Ren. Don't recommend them, and I don't give financial advice. Oh my gosh. But I think let's go ahead and take a look at what we looked at yesterday's. You gotta spell that stuff right. That E-Gold. So they're spot number 56. So they've slowed down a little bit today, which is good. Let's look at 30 days. Okay, so this is a look of a month. Okay. So you can see the ones that are going. Celsius, Network, Elron. Ones that I like. Elron is still small, It's only 63 million. So this fucking thing can go double, triple, quadruple just to catch up to where Celsius network is. And the majority of other ones are. 4x just to get to there. So, anyways, I don't know if that helps. I don't know if that makes it more confusing, but the in the U.S., we are definitely cracking down. If you have a self-hosted wallet, they're going to say, basically they're just trying to kill these exchanges. I mean, that's really what's going to happen is anybody who has the crypto on Coinbase, they'll never be able to take it off Coinbase. Coinbase is just going to, they can't follow all these rules and regulations, so they're just going to make it so that you can't actually take your Bitcoin out of their gulag, out of their gambling house, out of their casino, because of all the regulation they're under. It would be impossible for them. So anybody who already has taken custody of their cryptos and their money and actually has their money, and nobody can force them to do anything they don't want to do. It's a mutual agreement when they want to spend it. Those people will just take their continuing to value cryptos and go to these decentralized exchanges and start trading on mostly ERC20 tokens and all these other things. Like, they're already doing better than central exchanges. Central exchanges have hundreds of employees, all these compliance departments. Like, for what? Just to make other countries and more out-competitive than us? Like, it is what it is, but it's not a great thing. Bitcoin is going to go up because of it. It just makes it more desirable, and reaffirms the narrative that it is individual, and it's a powerful thing. Definitely doesn't mean you shouldn't, pay taxes and do all the things that you obviously should do. But certain people don't even want you to have the option. Anybody to have the option. And if you're keeping your business open to feed your family, well, you're not Walmart, so you're closed. Oh, you won't close? All right, close your payment transactions. No more. You can't. Your payment processors, you're done. So I hope that gives you some sort of a value. I don't know if it freaking does. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. It's not up to me. I wish good things for yourself and everybody.